Hey guys, I'm Ellie and I'm 16 years old and I was diagnosed with infertility at 14 years old. So today I kind of want to talk to you guys about my journey on how I was diagnosed with infertility and also the current treatments that I'm on, and I also want to give you guys some tips on how to deal with infertility because it sucks. Infertility really sucks, and anyone who is infertile, I just want them to know that you're not alone, and I really hope my tips help you. When I was 14 years old, I was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive stage 4 cancer. Consequently, I had to have many rounds of intensive chemotherapy and radiotherapy. From day one of diagnosis, the doctors always said that the main side effect of these treatments is infertility, and at the time I wasn't really bothered because I was kind of focusing on the present. At that moment in time I had so many other side effects of the cancer, like I wasn't able to urinate properly, I was constipated, obviously a whirlwind of emotions were going on, that I really couldn't think of infertility because my livelihood almost was so unstable at that moment that thinking about the future was scary for me because I wasn't sure if I was actually going to make it. I wasn't sure if the treatment was going to work. So thinking about the future and things like fertility, I just didn't really want to think about it. So I just kind of left it to one side and just focused on the treatment that I was going through. Around 4 months ago, I was officially diagnosed with infertility. They chose to wait until I was 16 to diagnose me because I had 18 months of treatment, and on the treatment you can't really get a clear picture if you are infertile, just because obviously the treatment lowers your hormone levels anyways, so you couldn't get a really accurate diagnosis. So once I was off treatment for about 6 months, the doctors decided to run some tests and see if I was infertile, and turns out that my hormone levels were really low, hence I had hot flashes, bone pain, fatigue. It really sucked, and now I'm actually on some type of like tablets for it. I have estrogen supplements, they're called estradiol, and they're actually really good. I used to have 2 microgram dose and that didn't do much for me, but the 5 microgram dose is really good. The hot flashes are a lot less frequent and I'm feeling a lot more energetic, so I'm feeling a lot more positive about everything. And even after treatment, I'm not feeling too bad about the infertility. I guess I'm quite a positive person, so I really don't want to think about all like the negative things about it, and I've really just come to terms with it. I had 18 months during treatment to come to terms with it. I'm used to it. I'm used to all the different long-term side effects that I've had from the cancer treatment, so infertility is just one of them for me, and I'm really keen on the idea of adopting. Having my own biological children is not something that I need. I just want to have a child that I can love and cherish as much as I would a biological child. Now onto the tips. I'm really keen to give you guys these tips because for anyone who is infertile, I know how hard it is, especially at a young age like me. You already have your whole life ahead of you, and to have one of those things already planned out for you that you don't have any control over is really hard, especially if you were thinking about having your own biological children anyways. Then it's really hard to have your plans just all muddled up and changed. My first tip is to never feel worthless. Infertility does not define you. It doesn't make you any less of a person, so you never should let it, and you never should isolate yourself because of it, because infertility, we all have our own little quirks, and infertility is just yours, and you should never ever feel ashamed of being infertile because you have no control over it. It is really hard, I know, because a lot of people are fertile, and that's really hard to see when you're kind of like the odd one out, and you always question yourself, like, why is it me? Why am I infertile? And that is really hard, I understand, but you should never ever feel ashamed of it. You should embrace it and live life as you are, because that makes you a stronger person. My second tip is to keep positive. Positivity through my cancer journey helped me so much. Implementing that positivity through my infertility journey has helped me so much again. I think positivity is the best remedy, because if you feel depressed about these things, then you're just going to feel even worse, and it almost feels like you're in a never-ending spiral of self-loathing, sadness, and depression even. So it's important that you stay positive about these things, because otherwise you're never going to get past the first hurdle. So it's really important that you embrace how life is. You're infertile, but there are options out there. There are IVF, surrogacy, adoption. So never ever lose hope, and especially because we're living in an era of medical revolutions. Anything could happen, you know. They could make this new super medicine that treats infertility. Who knows? I know it sounds far-fetched, but you should never ever lose hope, but always remember to stay realistic also. But life throws things at you, but you just have to make sure that you get over them, and then you become a stronger person. Thank you so much to everybody who watched. I hope you really enjoyed this video, especially for those of you who are infertile. I hope my tips really helped you, and that just listening to someone else's story helps. For me, it helps as well, because it makes me remember that I'm not alone in this journey, that there are other people out there like me. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to check out my blog post about infertility, I'll put the link in the bio.